All right, we got some breaking news. You all wanted it. You all got it. I don't know if the drop dies just yet, but just for old time's sake, let's play it one more time.
Damn it, Bobby.
Bobby Slowik's been fired. The Texans have fired Bobby Slowik. It is the locker room number one source for Texans digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You're going to see me, hear me on SNL as well with Cody Stutes. Cody Stutes is doing his thing right now. He's live. These are the two best options you can have. Cody Stutes is live. He's got all these names. I'm right here. So you can get a little bit of everything. You can go back and watch this a little bit later if you need to. But we got to talk about this. The Texans fired Bobby Slowik. My immediate reaction to this, and this is my number one reaction. I think this is something that Texans fans need to learn. And we kind of touched on this the last couple of days. I brought it up yesterday, is we're learning about DeMeco Ryans. He's a young head coach. We don't know what his tendencies are going to be. We don't know how he's going to handle certain situations. We can guess. We can take context clues. But as far as how DeMeco Ryans is going to handle tough decisions, tough situations, we really don't know until now. And that is the biggest thing. That's what I want to start with when it comes to the firing of Bobby Slowik. Because naturally, when you're a Texans fan, you anticipate a couple of things. You anticipate losing in the divisional round. It always happens. You anticipate borderline incompetence, and you anticipate somewhat of a kick in the can down the road type of thing. That's what you anticipate. And I think James says it right. This doesn't mean we're saved, but we're halfway there. Correct. We don't know what he's going to do, but we know he's not going to keep doing the same thing he was doing. And that's the biggest message and the biggest takeaway. And this is what I think we need to take and what we need to learn from this decision by DeMeco Ryans to get rid of Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
He's not the same old guy. He's not the Texans. He's not the same old Texans. He's not gutless. He's not a, hey, let's fire the offensive line coach and keep the offensive coordinator around. DeMeco Ryans is proactive. Stuff doesn't have to hit rock bottom for DeMeco Ryans to see it. And he is a cold-blooded killer. And DeMeco Ryans, he saw what most of us saw when it came to Bobby Slowik. And he's willing to get rid of his buddy. He's willing to get rid of his friend for the betterment of the team. We've been around a lot of guys who've said, we're going to do what's best for the team. We're going to do what's in the best interest of the team. They aren't doing what's in the best interest of the team. They're doing what's in the best interest of them. And quite frankly, they're just happy being in the divisional round, winning a playoff game here or there with no high ceiling. That's not DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans is not satisfied. And he sent that message today. Him and Bobby Slowik started their coaching careers together in San Francisco. They're buddies. DeMeco Ryans could have easily convinced himself, Bobby Slowik, he's new to the game. He's young to the game. He'll maybe figure it out. I got the defense, and at the end of the day, they're not going to fire me. So if I fire the offensive line coach and then Bobby Slowik's bad again, then we can get rid of him next year. Nah, DeMeco Ryans has the urgency that you want from a head coach. He's not satisfied, and it's not the same old crap. I think that's something that you need to be very, 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 very thankful for. And that's something that DeMeco Ryans showed us now. A lot of us assumed. I asked the question yesterday. I asked the question to Mike Meltzer. I asked the question to Will Kunkel and Cody Stutes and DJ Bieneme on Fox. As the week went on, and we saw the way that DeMeco Ryans reacted when he was asked about Bobby Slowik, I asked the question, are we underestimating DeMeco Ryans? Like, is DeMeco Ryans really just going to bring back Bobby Slowik and they're just going to roll with that? The answer is no. And that's the thing that you should be most encouraging about when it comes to the decision that the Texans made. Eric Aguirre asks right off the top, is Gerard Johnson the answer? I'm a no-go on Gerard Johnson. I'm a no thanks. I like Gerard Johnson. Think he's a good dude. Think he's a very talented dude. Think he can do a lot of things. That's a no-go for me. I don't want anyone that was in this system. And furthermore, I think, quite frankly, I think Gerard Johnson's kind of gotten a free pass. Every single position coach has been questioned this year. You questioned the offensive line coach. You want his ass out of here. You've questioned offensive assistants. You've questioned special teams coach Frank Ross after the Chiefs game. Tight ends coach. Are we sure Gerard Johnson did well this year with CJ Stroud? Did you watch CJ Stroud's last press conference? He said he didn't have the right mindset. He said he wasn't having fun. We saw him against the Kansas City Chiefs. Might have been a Bobby thing. But Gerard is right there. Didn't really seem to know the situation very well. Who's he talking to the whole time? So that's a no-go for me with Gerard Johnson. That's a specific example. It's not about criteria. I don't have a set criteria for what I want from the next offensive coordinator. I don't have a set, you have to have this much experience. I do think there's a personality that you need to have. You need to be somewhat of a leader. You need to know what the hell you're doing. You can't be passive. DeMeco Ryans is a defensive-minded head coach. I'm not saying he has a complete blind spot for offense, especially not after today. That would be a hell of a statement with what he did today. But he needs someone that can hold it down. Hold down the offense. You worry about your defense, I'll worry about the offense. You still want to chime in here or there. But DeMeco Ryans needs someone who's going to demand a room, who can hold down the offense, because he's a defensive-minded coach. He leans defense. Everything is better on defense. Bobby Slowik's not that. I like Bobby Slowik. I enjoyed covering Bobby Slowik. I enjoyed conversations with Bobby Slowik. He's not that. Bobby doesn't strike me as someone who has control. And it's not just body language BS. You watch him in like the most intense of situations, or you watch his offense that he oversees. There's no urgency. Sometimes it's ass backwards. See the end of the Green Bay game? In situations where things should be hammered, they're not there. They threw slants. The clock stopped with 2:15 left against the Kansas City Chiefs. The clock stopped. You have 2 timeouts. You need 2 scores. And you're 15, 16 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. You're about 20 yards away from the end zone. You obviously need to take a shot, no matter what, to have a chance. They threw 8-yard slants. They got inside the 30 on the first play after the 2-minute warning in that same ball game. And then all of a sudden they slowed up. Against the Miami Dolphins, they were basically taking it to the house. They were in no hurry. Then all of a sudden they get a first down. They're in a hurry and they fumble the snap. Bobby Slowik didn't know what the hell he was doing. Bubble Dream asked, am I keeping the damn it Bobby button?
Damn it, Bobby.
I just think we got to keep it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if it's going to be as active, but the damn it Bobby can't go away yet. Bobby gave off serious nervous energy that rubs off on the team. Yeah, he's not someone who demands a room. I think Bobby Slowik can be a offensive coordinator for an offensive coach that calls plays. That's been my biggest Bobby Slowik takeaway lately. Is I think he can be an offensive coordinator for a coach that already calls plays. That's what I think he is. I don't think he's an overseer of an offense. I don't think someone who handles the offense. I think that's what he is. But the biggest takeaway here, there's no set criteria for what the experience looks like. I'm going to talk about 2 candidates that I absolutely love. 2 completely different backgrounds, connections to the organization in some way, shape, or form. I have 2 candidates that I'll touch on. But just remember, the most important thing here is DeMeco let you know this ain't the same old Texans. This ain't the kick the can down the road. I'm not a head coach who lacks feel. I might be defensive about my players at times. I might be a little bit dishonest with some of the evaluation with the media, which is cool. But I have a feel of things. The fans aren't smarter than me. I'm not going to keep Jack Easterby around when he's clearly a cancer. I'm not going to keep my offensive staff in check, even though I know they suck. I'm not going to do that. So the days of the coach not having a feel, those are gone. And you can thank DeMeco Ryans for that. Swarming to the super chat. There's a few people that are swarming. You ain't never hate. Swarm. Jacob says, sad day. The end of the Damn It Bobby clip. I don't know what we're going to do.
Damn it, Bobby.
But y'all know me. Y'all know me. I'll find more drops. From the confessions, all that. It's often it's often copied, never duplicated. Confessions all the way down. I got you covered. Shane says, talk about the perfect start to the offseason with Bobby Slowik. I think I would agree. Is there a guarantee that it gets better? No, but it wasn't going to get better with Bobby Slowik. He was toast. He was cooked. LXCID Illusion says DeMeco doing what he did in firing the O-line coach and Bobby tells me they're serious about fixing the biggest weaknesses on the team. Yeah, I don't know if it's ever been seriousness that they've lacked. It just hasn't been good evaluation, hasn't been good feel. And there's been moments where the coach, the organization is blinded by stuff that shouldn't matter as much as the performance we saw and what we saw from Bobby Slowik. And that's the reason why Bobby Slowik needed to go. Bobby Slowik needed to go because he proved to you that he wasn't going to get better. He proved to you that he wasn't able to make adjustments. He proved to you that the quarterback was going to regress under his watch. And he proved to you that he was clueless and had no idea what was going on. I mean, going up at the podium and saying we're an explosive offense and that's wrong. When I ask you about Joe Mixon and you acknowledge that he's a really good receiver and y'all did it in camp, but y'all went away from it to keep him fresh from what? He's still out there on the field. I mean, it became very apparent. And the other thing is this, and this is the other thing that needs to be mentioned, I think. It's not just Bobby Slowik. Like, let's make that very clear. It's not just Bobby Slowik. There's multiple things that are wrong with this team offensive-wise. From personnel all the way to the coaching. It's not just him. So if they just run it back with the guys they got right now and they bring in a new offensive coordinator, he's probably going to suck too. When it comes to the bottom line and how good the offense is probably going to suck. Now, are they going to function like a NFL big boy offense? That's the question. Because injuries happen all around the league. You're not going to be completely healthy. But you can tell when an offense is functioning the right way. Do they know what the hell they're doing after the 2-minute warning? Do they know what they're doing at the end of the Green Bay game? So I'm not going to sit here and act like Bobby Slowik had like some sort of amazing array of talent. I'm not going to sit there and act like that. But what he could control, he sucked at. He wasn't good. And that's why the Texans got rid of him. And that's why I think it was the right choice to get rid of him. So we'll see where they go from here. There's a couple of names that keep getting brought up when it comes to, I think the most popular name right now for Texans fans, it's Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly's getting a lot of love. And I actually went back, and I'm sure you'll hear this if you're a boomer or something like that, or someone who doesn't really care about quality. You might hear it on AM radio. I'm sure they're going to play it. just like they do anything else. But this was DeMeco Ryans talking about Chip Kelly at his introductory press conference. This is what DeMeco had to say.
Be about protecting our players first. And with Coach Chip Kelly, what I learned from him, he was a master motivator, but he was also an innovator. And Chip Kelly, he was always on the cutting edge, right? Always looking for ways to get better with sports science, technology. And I take things that I learned from all these men, and that's how I feel like you build.
All right, so a master motivator and an innovator. That's how he described Chip Kelly. I mean, that's kind of what you need, right? Now, you might not agree. You might not like Chip Kelly. I can see some people saying, please no Chip Kelly. Francisco says that. But master motivator and innovator, that's what DeMeco Ryans just said at his introductory press conference. That's what he thinks of Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly's a national champion play caller with Ohio State. I heard Stoots talking. I listened to him a little bit before, and we'll get into this, I'm sure, at 4 o'clock on SNL. Subscribe on all podcast platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also be sure to follow us at the NFL Combine. I think some people are saying no Chip Kelly because they're Ohio State fans. But I heard Stoots say that, you know, the Chip Kelly, he was talking about Chip Kelly and he brought up the Michigan game in his time in Philadelphia, which I guess if you want to push back on Chip Kelly, I guess you would bring up the Michigan game. I kind of like the way they adjusted, kind of like the way they bounced back from that one. Wasn't like it was like an end-all be-all game. In the big scheme of things, they lost an ugly-ass game to a rival. And then they beat the crap out of Oregon. They beat Texas. And then they won the national championship. So I'm not overly concerned about Chip Kelly in that area. I do think that he has the personality, though, to say, hey, DeMeco, you handle the defense. I got the offense. I also think he kind of evolves. And that's always the toughest thing when you're talking about head coaches, because I've already made it clear, I don't have like a set experience. The guy I want has never called plays, but he has experience that no one else in the NFL has, and he's basically been an extra coach. It's Josh McCown. I want Josh McCown. That would be my guy. Chip Kelly and Josh McCown are the two guys. I don't think you can minimize the experience he has, the knowledge, and he's in the system. My guy would be Josh McCown. I can understand the Chip Kelly angle. I think Gerard Johnson would be a real big mistake. Real big mistake to use Gerard Johnson. Nothing to do with what his experience is or anything like that. I just think if we're looking at this situation and we're looking at these quarterbacks, I think that Gerard Johnson, I don't know that he did a good job this year. So that would be my thing. If Chip Kelly has gotten better based on his experience, then I think that's great. We always hold like experience against guys as if you can't get better and can't learn from it. And that's kind of the danger of coaching. Is that you can control what you can control, but a lot of times if stuff doesn't work out, there's a number of reasons. Sometimes your surroundings aren't ideal. I think in Chip Kelly's case, like if we look specifically at what happened in the NFL, the last time he was a head coach, I mean, it was a losing situation. I mean, it was kind of like Lovie Smith, David Culley type of thing where he's obviously more established, but the organization's rebuilding, the roster's not right, and they're just putting a stopgap in place. And they ended up hiring Kyle Shanahan, so who could blame them? But that wasn't like some sort of ideal situation. It's like when Lovie Smith and David Culley, they say, well, they put him in position to fill. Yeah, for sure. But no one else was going to hire you. I don't think anyone else in the NFL was going to hire Chip Kelly at that point. So it wasn't great in San Francisco for him. They were in salary cap hell. They were kind of rebuilding. Admittedly so. They had hired Jim Tomsula too. It's a disaster. Philadelphia, I think there's a couple of things that happened with Chip Kelly. And we're not even talking about him as a head coach, but in Philadelphia, he was one of the most innovative guys in recent NFL history. Like there was talk, I don't know if y'all remember, but I mean, there was talk about this is innovative. The NFL is going to have to catch up to Chip Kelly. And in year one, they went to the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, he just got full control and he got full power. And I think it kind of got to his head a little bit. And he ended up kind of being a victim of his own success because of the way in which the expectations raised after overachieving early. And then B, a victim of his own success in which he might have started feeling himself a little bit too much. So that's the Chip Kelly thing. But as far as like knowing what he's doing and calling offense, I don't I don't know why you wouldn't want Chip Kelly. Like I can't say no to Chip Kelly. Like I can't like sit there and like push back too much on Chip Kelly. But I can say no to Gerard Johnson easily. Like it's not that would be crazy. I can understand where you would want to say no to Josh McCown. I get that. I have no problem with that. If y'all don't want Josh McCown, I get it. Someone's going to do it. So it's going to happen. And I think he has the knowledge. I don't think there's any coach out there that has as much quarterback knowledge as Josh McCown. There's not a single one. In the entire NFL, there's not a single quarterback coach. There's not a single offensive coordinator that has as much quarterback knowledge as Josh McCown. There's not another person who has as much experience organizationally and has been in as many buildings as Josh McCown. There's guys who have more experience calling plays. There's not too many guys that command a room either, which I think is something that you need. You need that type of respect. So, but I can understand the pushback on that. I think it's simp. I think it's simp stuff to say it. But hey, you can simp if you want to simp with the Josh McCown. But I can understand the pushback. Chip Kelly, kind of a home run hire if you hire Chip Kelly. NFL experience, national championship, got the Ohio State ties to CJ Stroud. I don't really think you can push back too much on Chip Kelly. Some other stuff, we always get like the Kubiak. I don't know. I mean, there's always like a hire one of the Kubiaks or hire Kubiak type of feel. There's always that. I don't think that would be too crazy. I know it wasn't like awesome in New Orleans this year, but I mean, the situation kind of got crazy with Carr getting hurt. Wasn't ideal. Could understand that. Some people saying John Gruden. I think John Gruden would be an interesting decision. What is Brian Hartline's a receiver coach? What is that? What? Like he's literally like he's a receiver coach. What? You're gonna bring in Brian Hartline to be the OC of the NFL. He's a like one of the most respected receiver coaches, but he's a receiver coach. Space H says bring in a proven OC for Christ's sake. What's that mean? Like who's proven? Give me like some names. Because that's kind of that weak ass like draft talk where it's like they need an elite corner. No, draft the elite corner. Draft a two-way tight end. Like give me a name. Who's the proven OC that they need? What's the name that we need? Frank Reich. Okay. All right. I don't know about that. There would be some questions there. with Frank Reich. Doug Peterson. I don't think it's crazy, but does he want to be an OC right now? He's kind of getting paid. He's chilling. Is he like innovative? I don't know. Eric Bieniemy's awful. Like he's not good. Like that's been proven. He was never good. He was never calling plays. He's not good. Like, so no. Did you watch UCLA's offense? Did you see Colorado's when he actually called it? Like Kansas City's still winning. They might not have Tyreek Hill. Eric Bieniemy, that was a joke. So no, Eric Bieniemy, no. Good on that. He's not a good offensive mind. Josh McDaniels is rumored to be the OC for the Pats with Vrabel. He's going back. I mean, Josh McDaniels, you can do worse than Josh McDaniels for offensive coordinator. I know it's a polarizing head coach, but you know, there's kind of like a Wade Phillips element there with Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is whatever. Then all of a sudden, though, you're going to get that Patriot Way stuff with Caserio. That would be interesting. I like Brian Johnson. I'm fine with Brian Johnson. No issue with Brian Johnson. Byron Leftwich, I was a big Byron Leftwich fan. I know Jags fans kind of wanted to hire him. I don't know as far as like the specifics of what Leftwich is up to. I don't even know what he's doing right now. Like I don't even think he's out of the league, right? What is Byron Leftwich up to? Forgive me for not knowing on the go. I know it's alive, so we can look it up. Okay, he left the Bucks in 2023. On January 19, 2023, Leftwich was fired from the Bucks organization. Yeah, I don't know. I know about Leftwich. Probably not. Why would Peyton Manning want to be an offensive coordinator? Like he makes so much money just chilling. Why would he want to be an offensive coordinator? What is that like? Where does that come from? I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just asking, like, what have you heard like that Peyton Manning wants to be an OC? Do you think that Peyton Manning would be a good OC? What's up about Peyton Manning? Tony asks about SNL. He's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We come together at 4. Right now, you basically could have 2 and 2. Myself and Stutz going live. He's got his individual channel. I got mine. SNL will be live at 4 o'clock per usual. Stutz is killing it right now, though, doing his thing. I think he just signed off the live. So shout out to Stutz. We'll be live at 4 though. We got you covered. And the other thing I do want to say, Cody Stutz' list of offensive coordinator names, he had 30 4 weeks ago. That's the most accurate resource that you can have. Like every media type in the world should be using that list. It's very in-depth. It's very well thought out on HOU football. Strong recommendation to check out Cody Stutz' list of offensive coordinators. I think no one does it better. And I think it's just something you can just open up and read. And there, RIP to Damn It Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
I don't know if it's going to die. Clint Kubiak. I'd like the Kubiaks. I don't, I think naturally people will point to like what happened in New Orleans and all that. I don't hold that against him. I don't hold that against him. Eric Bieniemy was just awful all around. There was no variable. He's just not. That was fake from the jump. The way that was getting talked about, very disingenuous. So I can dismiss that. Clint Kubiak not dismissing. Matt Patricia, you got jokes. Wouldn't that be funny if Nick Caserio went up there and was like, you know what? We need some Patriot flair, so I am going to bring in Matt Patricia. Kubiak gets people excited. I don't know. It'll be an interesting process as to how how the Texans approach this hiring and who they interview and all that. But Chip Kelly right now is seems to be the most popular name. That seems to be the most popular one. We'll see SNL today at 4:00. We'll get to that. We're gonna have the night stream as well, obviously at 10:30. Jared asks about Frank Reich. I don't know, man. I don't know if Frank Reich is a really, really good OC or not. I thought he was a good leader. I thought he got it kind of screwed in Indianapolis, but who knows? D-Rec Tube. Hopefully this will unlock Dameon Pierce. Hopefully they get more running backs that can actually make plays. And Dameon Pierce is basically a kick returner that can be a situational back and your number 3/4 back. That would be cool. Like if Dameon Pierce were like your number 3 or 4/ back, and you had Joe Mixon and another running back who can maybe a little bit more dynamic, maybe a little better in the pass game, like that would be cool. Like multiple running backs. Make Dameon Pierce like your third best and let him return kicks. I think that would be cool. I would be down with that. Hire Landry Locker since he talks so much ish. Yeah, that's a bad hiring way to go about things. He talks ish, so I'm gonna put him as OC. That'd be crazy. What's your excitement for this situation? 1 to 10? Probably about an 8.5. I mean, it just happened while I was out and about. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be fun. Let CJ call his own plays. Not sure that would go too well. Appreciate everyone for coming through. Cody Stutz is as well. Go check that out. He got 1,000. He was pretty deep in the game. I think he got up to 1K. And then I'm on here. That's all you need. Myself and Stutz SNL will be live at 4. We'll try to make more sense about this. The question is, what now? What happens is they start interviewing OCs, but I'll tell you this, they know who they're hiring. They have a pretty damn good idea. There might be some other things going on. You don't make this decision if you don't have someone in mind, period, point blank, end of story. DeMeco Ryans, like that's always the funniest thing. We're talking about this, like they should do this, they should do that. And it's great to have opinions. God knows that I have a lot of them. But you don't make this fire if you don't know who you're hiring. So they know who the hell they're hiring. And we will have a pretty good idea, I think, sooner rather than later. DeMeco said he needed a week. A week went by. Your ass is fired, Bobby Slowik. We love you so much, man. You live on forever. Legendary status.
Damn it, Bobby.
But you know what? It's time for the Texans to make a new move. And you know what? DeMeco Ryans is in charge, and he let us know that today. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Subscribe, like, right along. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. SNL live at 4, night stream 10:30. We'll be at the NFL Combine.